What up? What up? What up? It's your boy Jahlani here for another episode of the Forever Young podcast. I hope you guys are ready for some good old-fashioned high-octane fun because we got a lot to talk about today. So I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in, just listening to me ramble for the next hour or so about some weird, wacky, and a little bit of craziness that's going on in the world this past week. There's a lot going on, so I can't cover everything, but we do have quite the loaded schedule here today. So I want to thank each and every one of you for coming, and if you're watching this, or watching and or listening to this on YouTube, please hit that like button. It really is appreciated. And if you're listening this to on Google Play or Spotify, rate it to help your boy out, help your boy pay his taxes. But anyway, I think it's enough rambling in the beginning. I don't have a set intro, so let's get into this. So in this first topic we're going to discuss, I want to pitch this question. Did you know that math is racist? Yes. So apparently there is this new movement going on called math equity. And no, it's not an equation. It's not that 2 + 2 = 4. No. I'm going to quote the site. The term refers to the growing insistence among educators that teaching math in a classroom comes with some inherently biased methodology that must be addressed. So apparently, these proponents of math equity are saying that there's essentially no diversity in math, and it is up to mathematical educators to fix that. Pardon me. Woo! Just started. Already causing problems. But anyway, yes, they say it's important that it is up to mathematicians to stress social injustices, such as race, diversity, and gender, with math. Now, this article goes a little bit further, saying that normally it is I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. They're saying that a lot of white mathematicians are the ones that are celebrated for Pythagoras. What's this dude's name? Euclid? I've never even heard of him. Oh, like Euclidean geometry. Never. Pythagoras, Euclid, Descartes, Gauss, and Newton. And like most of us know these names because a lot of us take courses that enforce these teachings. Like everybody knows the Pythagorean theorem: a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Yeah, I haven't been in math in a minute, and I still remember that. Euclidean geometry. As a matter of fact, I just learned what that was yesterday, and I forgot it immediately. Like Newton, calculus, gravity, all of this stuff. But these proponents, and especially the author of this article, goes on to claim that every student of mathematics will come across the zero and the negative sign. Yet, and this is a quote, yet there very rarely a mention of Brahmagupta in classes. And it goes on to say, calculus was a monumental achievement, deserved to have the authorship recognized with Newton, but more students will encounter the work of Brahmagupta than Newton. But what if it wasn't Newton that discovered calculus? Or did the Japanese scholar Seki Takakazu? There we go. We will never know. Blah blah blah. Do we not want to be dislodged from the entrenched Western narrative? So they're saying that this is what I'm getting from this article. I could be wrong. Somebody correct me if I am indeed wrong. The authors of this and a lot of the proponents of math equity are saying that what if these fundamental rules of math that we know today weren't theorized and proposed by these white mathematicians and scholars, but people of color. What if a Japanese man came up with calculus? Will we still utilize it, or would it be as celebrated as it is now? That's the question that they're proposing. Now, for me, I really didn't. When I think of math, race isn't the first thing that comes to my mind. As a matter of fact, it doesn't come to my mind at all. When I'm doing a math problem, my focus is on the problem. And any problem that I have is towards the teacher for giving me this algebra, for giving me the quadratic equation when I haven't done it in a minute. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I don't have any ill will to the person who invented the quadratic equation. I don't even know who invented quadratics. All I know is I don't want to do it. But that's beside the point. But thinking about this now, just thinking about it now, I really, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this article. I don't, for one major reason. Y'all know the written numbers that we all know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way to 0. That was of Arabic origin. That was of, like, those numbers that we write out are written out. Those are of Arabic origin from people of color. So, math as we know it right now was a huge part came to play because of the Arabs and the Ottomans. I don't think the Ottomans weren't involved. Scratch that. But they weren't they weren't made by white people. I'll just say that. They weren't. I'm trying to be tactful. I just can't do it. The maths we have all came to the Arabic, not the Arabic alphabet, is they're called Arabic numbers. Keep repeating myself because I'm just trying to get my thoughts because I just had it. Yeah. Okay. I got what I was going to say. Like, if I remember this correctly, historically, when the Arabs came in contact with either the Greeks or the Romans, it was one of those two. The Greco-Roman numerology, I'll say that, it was nowhere near to what, it was not recognizable to us. It really wasn't. Cause Roman numerals, that's what they were working on. Then here comes try doing math before we get into the rest of that history lesson. Try doing math with Roman numerals. Like, sure, you know that 2i's plus 3i's equals a v. But what happens when you get into those bigger numbers? When you start adding L's and C's and M's, it just becomes a giant mess. So eventually you'll get it down. But these Arabic numerals make things a whole lot easier. It makes arithmetic a whole lot simpler. So once they got these Greco-Romans, I'm pretty sure it's the Romans, just based on Roman numerals. But once these people came in contact with the Arabs, they assimilated they assimilated these Arabic numerals to make math easier. And then eventually, we got people like Newton, Descartes, and sure, they're more or less celebrated for their contributions to mathematics, but I wouldn't say that non-white math leaders are neglected. But also, I'm not paying attention to these leaders and these math leaders. Now, don't get me wrong, I have no issue with math. I could do an algebraic equation if I knew what I was if I knew what I was going for. But I don't see any inherent racial biases in math just because somebody else, just because it wasn't made, just because the formulas or the things that we use weren't made by a person of color. So that's how I'm feeling. So if you think math is racist, then you have there's some underlying issues right there, because you can't just find racism and bias and prejudice in everything, especially math, something we use, especially the simple math that we use every day. Nah, B. Math is just math. You don't hate math because it thinks you're inferior. You hate math because it takes too long, and you could be playing Call of Duty, World of Warcraft. What I just said? World of Warcraft. Okay, I know my video games. That's my sign to move on to the next topic, which is Instagram is hiding its likes. And this is some big news. So essentially, here's the headline in the New York Times. Not sponsored, by the way. New York Times, you want to sponsor me? Hit your boy up. In 6 countries, the company is trying out hiding the number of likes that it posts. The goal is to reduce pressure on people. All right, and just here's what the paragraph goes to say even further. The social media platform, which began testing that theory in May in Canada, this week expanded the experiment to include Instagram users in 6 more countries. As part of the test, users in Australia, Brazil, Ireland, Italy, Japan, and New Zealand will no longer be able to see the counts of likes and video views on other users' posts. Alright, so there's a lot that can be said about this growing trend, and a lot of it stemmed from the fragile human ego. Because for real, I don't know, it's just weird because Instagram, the whole shtick on Instagram is likes. It is grown, and that's basically its thing. You post a picture and or video, and you see how many likes you're able to get. That shows how much people quote unquote like it, think it's good, and it is essentially this that allow people to grow, get more popular, whatever. People count on the amount of likes to, especially if they're content creators. People count on the amount of likes determining if their content is good or not. Should they continue doing that? Should they continue doing that type of content? Or if it doesn't get that many likes or whatever, they should switch over to something else. That's not just for Instagram. That's for essentially every social media platform that uses that sort of rating system. Especially with YouTube and Twitter, Vine back in the day. I miss Vine. Shout out to Vine. Rip Vine. Whew. But for real, the fact that they're taking away these likes, I think that would actually increase anxiety, because you seriously wouldn't be able to know how well your stuff is doing. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, most people, well, I wouldn't say most, but a lot of people aren't content creators, and they do use Instagram as a sort of ego booster. They want confirmation from others in order to verify, order to justify that what they're doing is good. And that's what I spoke about in the beginning, that this is all about the fragile human ego. But the But for content creators, cause this is what I'm harping on the most, cause I guess it's just something that I identify with. Not that I get many likes at all on anything I do, but that's besides the point. Anyway, going back for content creators, there's what Instagram is doing is essentially taking away or making it harder for these people to gauge how they're doing. Sure, the comments will still be there and people can physically write how they feel and do whatever. But likes are a lot easier. They're a lot easier to manage. You don't have to scroll through thousands upon thousands of comments. You can just that number there, it is what you need. That number there is your goal. It's what helps. It's what you got. It's what you got to. It's what you see, and it sets your goals. It sets your limits. All right, I got 10K likes here. How can I get to 12K? How can I get to 15, 20? See what I'm saying? So, I don't know if this is a good idea. Now, for people who aren't content creators and are constantly stressing about getting likes, sure, this might help them in a superficial way, but it could all again make them more anxious because they just don't know. What a big fear among people is not knowing. The fear of the unknown is freaking huge. It really is. It's huge and massive. The fact that you don't know, like the fear of the dark. You don't necessarily fear the dark itself. You fear what's in the dark, but you can't see it. So that's what makes it freaking scary. The fear of not knowing can really drive somebody off the wall. So Instagram, while I think your intentions are good, I really don't think the execution, I really don't think your result is going to be I don't think it's going to be the desired result. Like, as a business, I think this is just going to hurt you. Because people don't, let's just say you have a lot of content creators who rely on the likes as a gauge of their success. If they can't see how well they're doing, or don't have a clear image of how well they're doing, they'll just take, and this is just my prediction, they'll just take their videos and start posting them on different platforms, and that's gonna hurt Instagram's business. That's all I gotta say on that. I don't really use Instagram that much. I just like scrolling down, seeing different videos that makes me laugh before I go to sleeps. But really hold it, like, we'll see. They're doing this as a test, so these 6 countries, we'll see what these tests got to say in the near future. But Australia, Brazil, Ireland, Italy, Japan, and New Zealand, I don't think it's gonna work out. I don't. But we'll see. That's not my call. I'm just putting my 2 cents into this. So we'll just see what the future holds. And speaking of the freaking future, it has been announced, it has been confirmed that Space Jam 2 is coming out July 16th, 2021. Yes! And that seriously would be 25 years since the 1996 version, since the original Space Jam. Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and jam, if you wanna slam. Okay, I can't do that I can't get too turned right now, because again, I live with people. But oh my goodness, I am so freaking excited. In 2 years' time, why's it gotta be 2 years? Why's it gotta be freaking 2 years? But in 2 years' time, Space Jam 2 is coming. And who else would be the star but LeBron James? LeBron James. Speaking of Vine jokes. But the Toon... Oh, who was ready to see the Toon Squad back in action? Toon Squad! Now, for the 7 people out there who don't know what Space Jam is, let me break it down for you. So, in the original, Michael Jordan, he was a retired basketball player, and apparently he got sucked into the Looney Tune world, and he was he was essentially drafted to the Toon Squad. He had to teach the Looney Tunes how to play basketball so they can win over their freedom from the Monstars, an alien group who wanted to enslave the Looney Tunes in their own amusement park. Really, they didn't want to do it, but they had to. The Monstars stole the talent of some star players, and in the beginning, it looked like the Looney Tunes were SOL, but through the power of friendship and Jordan's secret stuff, they were able to pull through. They believed they could fly, and whew, everything worked out in the end. Now, what? Space Jam 2. Here, let's run down some facts that have been confirmed, what we know about it so far. So, again, it's coming out. Hey, scroll down. Freaking hate this computer. I don't hate it, just this mouse. So, it's gonna, like I mentioned before, coming out July 16th, 2021. But, woo, they really gotta make it good. Because that's also gonna be the year of, it's coming out it's gonna be in the summer, but it's also this season for other high-hitting, very popular movies. Indiana Jones 5 is coming out. Sing 2, have no clue what that is. Mission Impossible 7 is slated to come right after. So Space Jam needs to do well. It was LeBron James, the most dominant basketball player, arguably the most dominant athlete of this generation. Then they have a lot to work up. They have big shoes to fill, and they gotta perform well so they can stand out among those other heavy hitters. And among those, we got some more Disney movies and Marvel movies. So yeah, this better hit hard. Well, you better believe I'm about to head in and just day 1. I don't know about day 1, probably day 2 or day 3. But I'm gonna be in that theater. I haven't seen Space Jam in theaters. I'm not that old, but I've seen it on VHS. I will see this Space Jam in theaters. Bet. And same thing about the previous Space Jam 2 will will feature other NBA stars. And do we have let's see. I know there we go. Among the stars that were cast were Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, Damian Lillard. I don't watch basketball, so if I'm pronouncing that name wrong, I apologize. And yeah, so I do know those are some heavy hitting names. And among those, Don Cheadle, he's gonna be in there. I have no clue who he's gonna be, but Rhodey in Space Jam 2, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Seriously, I don't know what role he will play, but again, I'm down to see some Space Jam in action in 2021. As far as the story, LeBron James did an interview last year, and he said that Space Jam 2, despite being a 2, will probably not be a sequel, but a reboot. Now, reboots in the past few years have not been friendly, or I should say, have not been met with the same. There's a lot of kindness. Arguably, mainly because there's a lot of pressure on reboots to live up to the original. So if this isn't going to be a sequel and it's going to be indeed a reboot, that's gonna add more pressure for this to not only stand out, but to be a proper adaptation to the original movie. And just to quote this, it says, "Rather, it seems Space Jam 2 will be a reboot of the first film, will ostensibly update the plot to feel more modern." So of course, with most reboots, they're gonna be more modern, have better animation, modern lingo or jargon, and we're just gonna have to see because the specifics of the plot hasn't come out. So if it's just based on a reboot, then the original story being intact. How they'll execute it is anybody's game at this point. However, just upon further research, there's the idea floating around that should this do well, it could spawn a franchise. Now I don't know how I feel about that because I like Space Jam as it was. The OG Michael Jordan, Bugs Bunny, Daffy. I like that how it was. I think in and of itself, it was a strong movie, a classic movie. And if Space Jam 2 is just gonna reboot it, they have to stay strong. They have to perform well, just so it can be on the same level as the original. But as a franchise, I really don't see that being a good idea, because the entire premise of the movie I feel like it only works once, maybe twice, if for this reboot. And them just drawing it out doesn't seem like a good idea. I could see it failing miserably. So hopefully this will just be the last Space Jam. Because if they're just doing this to market more NBA stars, then that can get old really quickly. Cause what other plots could they develop for this movie? Cause it's just the Looney Tunes playing basketball. It's just Looney Tunes mixed with live action playing basketball. Well, if you want to watch basketball, you just watch the NBA. For real. So, I'm just saying, I'm hoping they don't do too much with this. I feel like they should just make a strong movie, be proud of what they got, and just leave it at that. Hopefully that is just the thing, just what they gotta do. That's just all they plan on doing. Ooh. And that's really all I want to say about Space Jam. I'm seriously hyped that it's officially released. It was a part of my childhood, so better believe I'm all up in there. I can't. I just want it. But we got more movie news, so let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it pushing, son. And that is that Thor is officially the longest running MCU franchise, because Thor is getting a fourth movie. Thor 4. Yes. So the director of Thor Ragnarok, I know it, Waititi, I think that's his last name. Let me find it. Let me just, cause I don't want to butcher it. I know it starts with a T. Where's this man at? Taika Waititi, yes. He directed Thor Ragnarok, which was a freaking amazing, arguably the best Thor movie. As a matter of fact, objectively the best Thor movie, hands down. That was the best one so far. But now he's coming back to direct Thor 4, then that's a lot. There's a lot to discuss about that. One, what does that, like, for one thing, why is it that Thor gets a fourth movie? As out of all the original Avengers, why does he get the longest running one? Because you can argue that Iron Man and Captain America are a lot more popular, Granted, they're both out of the scenes. They're out of pocket at the moment. But even still, you can argue they're a lot more popular. A lot more people would be for Iron Man or Captain America over Thor, especially since the Thor movies, in the grand scheme of all the other ones, were a bit lacking, for a lack of a better word. The Thor movies weren't as strong as, say, Captain America Winter Soldier or Civil War or Black Panther or Iron Man 1 and 2. So the fact that Thor gets a fourth movie, that's strange. It seems coming out of left field. Like, I'm not, don't get me wrong, I am not mad about it. The God of Thunder deserves some work, and he needs to work out to get rid of that gut, please. That gut got to go. But it also raises the question of, what does this mean with him and the Guardians of the Galaxy? Because everybody at this point has seen Avengers Endgame, and he left New Asgard in the hands of Valkyrie to join the Guardians of the Galaxy in order to find himself. But now that he's getting a fourth solo movie, what does this mean? What does it mean? It's like a double rainbow. We need some answers, Sway. We need some answers. Like, it's been sort of like a running joke now that Thor would not oppose himself, but essentially plant himself as the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 coming out, prior to this Thor 4 announcement, people are expecting Thor to have a pretty good amount of time in this trilogy. Now, with Thor 4 coming out, we have... Stop hitting my microphone. We honestly have no clue. So we'll keep... In my personal opinion, I think that Thor will show up or have at least some role in Guardians of the Galaxy, but because of his solo movie, depending on when it takes place, he'll either leave early or sometime at the very end of the movie, and Thor 4 will take place after. I don't know. There's a lot to unpackage. Mainly, there's a lot of questions I have. Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Thor with the Guardians, because his interactions with Rocket and Peter Quill, they're spot on. The chemistry that they all got, or lack thereof, whatever you want to call it, it is comedy gold. And Thor himself is a great character to be around, especially when he's not brooding and alone. Yeah, Thor has a lot. He has a lot on his mind and in his stomach, but it doesn't matter. That's just part of his character at this point, and it's just great to see. I don't know. I like seeing Thor project himself as the jovial, fun-loving god of thunder, and the fearless man. But even though he's hiding so much trauma on the inside, Lord Jesus Almighty, help this man. Thor did nothing. He did a lot of things wrong. I'm not gonna say he did nothing wrong. He did a lot of things wrong. But throughout his history, he's been trying to make it up. So really, he's been trying to make it up, trying to prove himself worthy. Even though he wields Mjolnir and Stormbreaker, he's just trying to prove himself that he is truly a worthy individual. Not just worthy of leading his people, but just worthy to be a hero. So just seeing, I don't know. That's probably why Thor is getting. So I probably just answered my own question. That's probably why Thor is getting a fourth movie as opposed to the other two that I mentioned. or as opposed to the other original Avengers, because his story is still ongoing. Tony Stark did all he could do. Captain America did all he could do. Let's see. Hawkeye, yeah, he's no longer in that business. Black Widow, rest in peace. And Hulk, don't see another Hulk movie coming out. No, I don't see another one coming out. And he's incapacitated at the moment. So essentially, Thor is really all they all have to work with. He's not physically damaged. He can still go on. He still has a lot to learn. So, yeah, just answer my own questions. Thor has a lot more growing to do, and we still need to find out what happened to Loki. Now, I know Disney Plus is coming out, and Loki's gonna have his own misadventures, but I want to see it on the big screen, because he just left in Endgame, and that was it. That was it. Have no clue what happened to him. He just took the Tesseract. I'm pretty sure the Tesseract and just dipped. And Thor 4 might answer those questions, or more, or I would say it will just go back to Valkyrie doing her thing. So, I don't know. I'm just. It's just nice. It's just nice to see that they're ready. They're ready for it. They are freaking. They're just ready to do the most. That's all I gotta say. Just ready to do the most. Now, there's more about Thor 4 that's happening. Like, all right. So this other article is titled 10 questions we have about the MCU that Thor 4 could resolve. Yeah. What happened after the snap or the blip? If you saw if you saw Spider-Man Far From Home. Oh, I hate them calling it the blip. But, I mean, on a cosmic scale, Thor 4 could help figure out what else is happening. But you have other heroes that can also do that. What happened to Xandar? Yeah, right after Ragnarok, we kind of left with what happened, and it is 5 years in the future. So, what happened to Professor Hulk? I don't see how. I mean, Hulk and Thor have had a growing relationship, so who knows? When I thought of Thor 4, I didn't see Hulk coming into play in the slightest. Can the universe decide that the Infinity Stone? What Guardians? What exactly are Thor's powers? Ah. That would be an interesting plot to think of. Like, Thor still not really knowing who he is. I mean, in Ragnarok, he came to realize that he's the god of thunder, not the god of hammers. So that allowed his powers to manifest a lot more. Hold on, let me read this. It says Thor Ragnarok had us believe that Thor finally unlocked all of his power by the climax, only for the Avengers to show a beaten Thor absolutely having his butt handled by Thanos. Blah blah blah. That Thor easily lost to Thanos. I haven't. The Stormbreaker. Blah 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 blah. So all this is a whole lot of inconsistency over Thor's powers. Okay. I mean, hold on. This paragraph alone, that doesn't really just show how weak Thor is, but just how strong Thanos was. So then, no, I don't. I mean, we know Thor's powers. I mean, we do, but does he know the extent of what he can do? He can survive an exploding star in order to make a Stormbreaker. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, just all of this about other stuff. But we don't need to go into Thor more. Thor 4, haha. Anyway, again, like Space Jam 2, I'm ready for Thor to happen. I'm ready for Thor 4 to make headway. Yeah, it's probably gonna be. I want to say it's been announced. It's probably not gonna come out until 2022, maybe, possibly late 21, early 22. That's my guess on when this is gonna happen. And when it happens, I'm about to be all up in there. And the last major story we're gonna speak on, it's a somber one, and it happened all the way in the country of India, and it's heartbreaking to say. So I don't even got any quips about it. And it's about the hashtags #We Love Beef and #Beef for Life. And this was like trending a week ago. And the headline is, the police has registered cases against perpetrators under various sections of the Indian Penal Code, including attempt to murder. So on July 12th, these hashtags started coming into fruition. We love Beef and Beef for Life. It turns out that is because a 24-year-old Indian man, his name is Mohammed Faizan, and he was okay. Let me give you more backstory. On July 9th, he posted a picture of himself eating some beef soup on his personal account, and describing the taste as well. And a group of people later on, a group of 4, or at least 4 were arrested, but a group of people came into the house and viciously attacked him. They beat him, and just based on the story, as of the story, he's still recovering in the hospital. And it's a shame. These people, these four individuals that were arrested are being held, and they're registered cases. This is an attempted murder case. Let's see. Eyewitnesses say that he was attacked with a wooden log and an iron rod, and so the relatives are forcing actions on them. And these hashtags, We Love Beef and Beef for Life, are essentially used to condemn rising incidents of hate crimes, vigilantism, and intolerance over food habits. Like I said, that's a sad story, for real. Because we just have a man not doing, well, I can't really say anything wrong, but he's really just living his life, eating food. And he gets attacked just based on what he for sharing his love of food, for eating beef. All right, so real quick, I had to look up some Indian food laws, because I don't want to sound ignorant by saying he did something wrong. But let's see. Wait, no, not food laws, but diet laws. That's what I'm getting at, because I have a theory when I first thought of this. All right, let me see. Okay. Before I get into what I think, I just want to tell you what I know. So I know in Hinduism that eating beef is a big no-no. It is they have a huge dietary, they have a very strict set of dietary restrictions, and according, that word is lacto-vegetarian, and that means no meat or poultry or fish, no eggs, but milk products are allowed, and no beef, Yep, because like I was gonna say, the cow is sacred. Brahmins have restrictions on who prepares their food and how it's restored. There are many fashion. Okay, we don't need to get into that, but so yeah. So what I was saying, I know that those are the dietary restrictions that Hindus follow, but I really don't know the diet restrictions just based on India, because not everybody in India is a Hindu. At least I'm pretty sure everybody in India is not a Hindu. There's over 1 billion people over there. I'm pretty sure that most aren't Hindus. Let's see. Okay, so one of them says they eat a variety of foods to ensure a balanced diet, plenty of fruits and vegetables, all that good stuff. Avoid overeating. Exercise regularly. And sorry, my phone just went off, so sorry I had to hear that. Minimize the use of. Okay. It doesn't say anything about meats, though. It doesn't. Let me look at this food pyramid. Yeah, so they have their own food pyramid, and meat is on there, including beef. They don't. It just says eat sparingly. So it doesn't seem like India itself bans beef, has a ban on beef, but it's more than likely that the men who beat Muhammad up were devout Well, I won't say devout because I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to be whooping on other people, but they were Hindus, and they were offended by the fact that this man was just eating some beef soup when the cow is sacred in the Hindu religion. So again, it's just very sad, and just shows how intolerant these men who beat him up were. And yep, and nothing, and I don't want people reading into this saying that I'm intolerant of that I'm bashing the Hindu religion altogether. That's not what I'm getting at all. What I'm saying is that the actions that these men carried out were just inexcusable and inhumane. And I'm pretty sure Hinduism is all about peace and trying to live as good as a life as you possibly can. Find that spiritual wellness. There's a lot that goes into Hinduism. I can't tell you every detail, and I can't pretend that I do. But I do know that beating someone with a wooden log and an iron rod won't help you. Isn't good karma. I'll just say that. So if any of you have seen the hashtag We Love Beef and Beef for Life, that's what it essentially means. Just come down in solidarity for this man who just eating some. Hopefully it was some bomb beef soup, because I know we got a heat wave going on, and I know it's hot right now, but I gotta stop burping on my freaking microphone. But I know it's hot, but some beef soup. I had me some miso soup today, and I'm like, ooh, it was fuego. It was fire, delicious. The way, y'all ever just have some warm soup that just hits your soul? I don't care what season it is. I really don't care what season it is. That warm soup just hits different no matter how you feeling. You could be in the worst of moods, and when you hit that warm soup, and yeah. Anyway, that's all. I gotta stop talking about soup. But anyway, it's time to almost wrap up. It is a time of the stream where we just wrap it up by me just saying my unpopular opinions. And I will say this. My first one is I think that Captain Marvel is a good movie. I want to say the best movie, but I believe it is a good movie, and I believe that Brie Larson and embodies Captain Marvel perfectly. You can say what, and you can say whatever you want about the actress herself. You don't have to like her. Blah blah blah. Boo boo boo. Get your silly man feelings hurt just because a strong female character is not taking any of that misogynist junk, and a strong female and a strong woman isn't taking any of that junk either. No. Brie Larson, shout out to you. Good Captain Marvel, and I can't wait for Captain Marvel 2 to come out, cause best believe I'm being in that theater straight ahead looking, waiting for you to whoop on some more Krees, or whoop on some more Skrulls, whoop on whoever you need to. Power to the people. Also, I don't know if this is going to destroy my blackness, but I love me some pumpkin pie, and I like pumpkin pie more than sweet potato pie. I'm sorry. Don't get me wrong, I like both pies. Pie is delicious, and if I got some pie right now, it would really touch my soul. It would, like that soup did a minute ago. Like pumpkin pie, especially with that good amount of whipped cream. Delicious. I know it's not fall, but I love. I just taste some pumpkin spice in my mouth right now. Woo! Yeah. What else we got? I'm sorry. I'm just reading these other unpopular opinions, and the one I said in the first episode with the Beatles are rated is on this list. We also mentioned Nicki Minaj too. Nicki Minaj can go in on a beat when she tries. Yeah, she's not bad. She is not bad at all. What else we got? I'm just going down this list because, truth be told, I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy to figure out. I was too lazy to figure out my own popular opinions, or write them down, I should say. Let me just find one more because these are funny. Let me see. Okay, I'm just reading this one. I don't know. Okay. Hold up. I am pro-choice. I believe no woman should ever be forced to become a mother. She should have. Okay, I'm not getting into this. Nope. No. I'm ending the podcast right now. Nope. Ignore that last part, please, because I'm not trying to get into this big old debate. I like discussion. I do. But right now, I'm not in a position where I can be on political debates. So, do it if you want to have that political debate. I highly advise you not to, but you're more than welcome to. Freedom of speech, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, thank you for coming out to the Forever Young podcast. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time. If you're watching on the YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And again, if you're watching this on Google Play and Spotify, please just rate it. Let me know how it's going. I know Instagram is hiding them likes, but you don't gotta hide your likes. Haha. Anyway, thanks everybody. Goodbye.